Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
You could be driving.
Honda has won more U.S. News and World Report awards than any other brand in the last decade. And now you can add another one to the list, being named the best car brand of 2022. Come get your Honda today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siega Lane.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
To today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in your little slice of heaven. Since the last opportunity we had to spend a little time with you and yours at the end of last week. We start today's show with Louisiana news, and obviously on the heels of the inclement weather that we experienced just a week ago, the weather once again taking the spotlight here in South Louisiana. For those of us that reside in the capital region, particularly in the Baton Rouge metro, we are expecting possible tornadic activity and, of course, severe winds. We're talking, in essence, the equivalent, minus all the rain, of tropical storm conditions. If you've been out at all today, you've noticed the blustery conditions out of doors. In the capital region, Baton Rouge area, between 3 and 5 o'clock this afternoon, it is anticipated that we could see winds gusting in the neighborhood of 60 miles an hour. Obviously, if you reside in a place where there's lots of outdoor amenities, patio furniture, gardening tools, garbage cans, recycling bins, things of that nature, you're advised to get those under cover. There's nothing worse than having property destroyed by something that, if it had simply been secured, would not be a problem. But in the wake of the recent tornadic activity that we've experienced as of late, you guys and girls know full well what flying objects can do. This is, again, not our first rodeo, y'all. It is something to be expected this time of year. And the old adage, the ounce of prevention being worth more than the proverbial pound of cure, certainly holds true in this regard. It is, unfortunately, the last thing that our dear friends and neighbors in the New Orleans area need right now, particularly St. Bernard Parish, Araby, places like that that went through tornadic activity just a week ago. It's the last thing that they want to entertain right now. However, it is one of those things that lets us know, in the grand scheme of things, we're not in charge. There are forces at play much greater than you and I can comprehend. And as a result, all we can do is prepare as best we can for when these things happen. It is never too late to do what you can to help those in need. Right now, I would imagine resources are at a premium for organizations like the Red Cross, Salvation Army, those who respond to families in need in times like these. So, as is usually the case, I will never ask you to give until it hurts. All I ask is that you give what you can, because instances like this drive home the fact that on any given day, for any of a myriad of reasons, there but by the grace of God go you or I. Last week, it was our friends and neighbors in St. Bernard and Araby, 9th Ward in particular. Tomorrow it may be our turn. And when all is said and done, we're Louisiana folk. We support one another. We help one another. We look out for one another. And I know what some of y'all are saying, allegedly, but that's a different show for a different day. Regardless, it's coming, y'all. Just make sure that you're ready. In other Louisiana news, if you have followed me on radio, TV, for any amount of time, you know that I have coined the adage, when you fail to govern yourself, you have in essence consented to be governed. As a conservative, I adhere to the basic principle that I want government out of my life whenever possible. I want the responsibility of taking care of me and mine. All I want from government is to stay the hell out of my way and let me bust my hump to take care of me and mine. That's all I want. But unfortunately, and this is a classic example, so many of us fail to govern ourselves. And when we do, it gives government the impetus, the rationale, the reasoning to, quote, govern us. This week at the Louisiana State Capitol, as you well know, the legislative session going on as we speak, they spent time haggling over a new bill that would ban handheld cell phones. Now, we all know when it comes to driving and cell phone usage, Americans, I was tempted to say we're the worst, but Americans, by and large, have this problem. It's not just unique to Louisiana. For whatever reason, we have succumbed to the idea that every time the phone rings, we are obligated, duty-bound, if you will, to answer it. Doesn't matter that we're doing 70 miles an hour down the interstate, 75, 80 on the interstate, piloting a 2,000-pound plus missile. But instead of paying attention to what we're doing, we feel duty bound to answer the telephone. So this bill being authored by Representative Mike Hovall, Republican, by the way, out of Breaux Bridge, is seeking to rein in handheld cell phone usage. Quote, this is trying to promote safe driving. The fine for using a handheld cell phone while driving would be lower than the $175 to $500 fine for texting and driving. This new fine would range anywhere from $50 to $100 and could include a maximum of 15 hours of community service for a first offense. Now, as you might imagine, those opposing the measure are of the opinion that, well, you'd be targeting poor people because folks without means, many of them are relegated to cell phones that don't have Bluetooth capability. And we don't think it's fair that you come up with something that in essence would penalize them just because they drive an older car that doesn't have Bluetooth capability, or because they use a prepaid cell phone that may not have Bluetooth capability. I will be the first to acknowledge I had no idea they were still making phones that don't have Bluetooth technology. Cars, I understand. The phones themselves, I didn't realize it. But at the end of the day, regardless, if you are behind the wheel, and speaking of duty calling, obligations, you've got an obligation to ensure the safety of your fellow drivers, your passengers, and yourselves. And, you know, at the end of the day, y'all, with all the problems we face in our state, for the legislature to have to spend time on something that you and I could fix lickety-split should say a lot to us about who we are as a society. When all is said and done, we will probably never be able to quantify exactly the number of lives lost just because someone thought a phone call was more important than operating a 2,000-pound plus missile at 70 to 80 miles an hour in a safe fashion. We always complain that the government ain't got no business doing this, and the government has no business doing that, and they're overreaching and this, that, and the other. I just ask that you please make it a point to remember what your buddy Clarence has told you for years now. When you fail to govern yourself, you consent to be governed. Simple proposition, or in the vernacular of the streets, it ain't that hard to understand. Just saying. First break of today's show. It's Wednesday because we were off yesterday, but it is the second segment, and you know your buddy Clarence, I wouldn't dare let the opportunity pass to share with you, although it's a day late, another edition of Now That's Just Stupid. That's next when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Farm Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Farm Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The Mazda CX-30, named an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. Perfect for the journey ahead.
Start your journey in a new Mazda CX-30. Right here at Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. We were unable to be with you yesterday. And in an ideal world, people would say, you know what? Clarence is not on the air today, so we're not going to do anything stupid because we couldn't make this week's edition of Now That's Just Stupid. As the graphic shows you, we're not talking ordinary, everyday, run-of-the-mill stupid, which would be the traditional STUPID. What we're talking about here is an entirely different level of stupid, hence coining a new spelling, STOOPID, as in, now that's just stupid. We start, no Florida man today, we start instead with Louisiana woman. St. Tammany Parish, Sarah Connors booked into jail on charges of theft and drug charges. So, after being arrested and booked on theft and drug charges, she's released from jail at 3:45 p.m. in the afternoon. almost immediately, what does she do after being released from jail? Well, she goes to a fast food restaurant in Covington, Louisiana, steals a car, and then runs from the police. And of course, as you might imagine, the Camaro that she stole immediately after being released from jail and leading police on a chase, she then crashes the Camaro and ends up being taken to a hospital to treat her injuries. I guess there's something to be said about the saying that became popular in recent memory, go big or go home. Initially, she was arrested for misdemeanor theft and drug charges. But apparently, that wasn't grand enough for Sarah Connors. So, in the vein of go big or go home, they let her out to go home, but she decides to go big. Less than an hour after walking out of the jail, steals a car, leads police on a high-speed chase, crashes the vehicle, ends up in the hospital. Like I said, y'all, go big or go home. Speaking of driving and Louisiana folk, this is as classic an example as you will ever find of, we should have seen this one coming. We talked with you last week about the ungodly, horrific incident in New Orleans where a 17-year-old male, in the company of 3 other female juveniles, carjacked a 73-year-old woman. And in the midst of this carjacking, attempting to get away, she became entangled in the seatbelt. Instead of stopping at that moment, the 17-year-old continued to flee. The 73-year-old woman gets caught in the seatbelt. If you're squeamish, hit the mute button. Ends up tearing the woman's arms off her body. We now find out that the 17-year-old, John Honore, has a rap sheet that you would not believe. This guy, Mark, I'll call you back, my friend. This guy has been arrested at least 7 times with over 25 charges since, wait for it, the age of 12. At 12 years old, arrested for criminal damage to property. His other highlights on his rap sheet include armed robbery, possession of a firearm, auto theft, flight from an officer, and in one case alone, 18 counts of vehicular burglary. He was also, this juvenile, charged with aggravated burglary after the violent home invasion of a relative in May of 2020. Now, when you've been arrested 7 times that they know of, they've been able to find so far, with over 25 charges from everything from aggravated burglary to armed robbery to auto theft, flight from an officer, vehicle burglary, you name it. Why was this young person still on the streets? If, and y'all please accept this in the spirit that it's given, Stevie Wonder could have seen this. Hell, Ray Charles could see this, and he was blind and dead. He could have seen this coming. And now the family of a 73-year-old woman has to bury her because this clown is still allowed on the streets. There is such a lack of accountability in this story that it's mind-boggling. It's staggering to think how many judges had this young person stand before them with a rap sheet starting at the age of 12, armed robbery, burglary, theft, violent home invasion, you name it, he's pretty much done it, and still on the streets. You know what this young man did and has been doing since the age of 12 says a lot about this young person, and it says a lot about his home life. But you know what? The fact that he was still on our streets says a whole lot more about us than it does about him. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. The judiciary, the prosecutors, that's just stupid, y'all. If ever there was a case where you could see this coming, this was it, y'all. This was it. Bottom of the hour break. When we come back, I have been struggling with what I'm going to call this next segment. There is a part of me that is leaning toward the vernacular of the streets in saying, we need to call this next segment, they're setting y'all up for the okie doke. But there's another part of me, to use a sports adage, upon further review, that makes me want to name this next segment, what is it about Joe Biden and black women? I'll let you figure it out when we come back, continuing today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
God termites. Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Driver assistance technology comes standard on every Camry model as part of Toyota Safety Sense, setting the standard for safety every time you're on the road, no matter the destination. Save on your Camry today at Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I told you heading into the last break that I was still trying to decide what moniker to attach to this segment. Part of me says, well, you could go with, what is it about Joe Biden and black women? Or you could very easily go with, they're setting you up for the okie doke. Now that I think about it, maybe I could merge the two. Joe Biden and black women are setting you up for the okie doke. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. Did you see last week where Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, in the midst of her confirmation hearings for the Supreme Court, was asked a very simple question? Can you give us the definition of a woman? And of course, this was right moments after we listened to her words, not mine, her words. I am a strong black woman. And of course, leading up to this, we were all told what a brilliant legal mind this is. And we were told incessantly by the mainstream media and those on the left what a historic achievement for women this was. And when asked, can you give us a definition of a woman? She said, no, I can't. And kind of taken aback, they were like, you can't? Her response, no, not in this context. I'm not a biologist. Now, this woman, alleged woman, graduated from freaking Harvard. You, her words, not mine, self-proclaimed strong black woman. But you can't define what a woman is? You want to sit on the highest court in the land, giving an opinion, rendering judgment on issues pertaining to women and women's rights. But you, your words, not mine, the strong black woman that you are, can't define what a woman is. If it were numerically possible today, walk up to 1 million black women and ask them, can you give me a definition of what a woman is? Every single one of them can define what a woman is. You'll hear everything from XX chromosomes to a uterus, to a menstrual cycle, to having a baby. You'll get 1 million answers. But I got to give Joe credit. He was able to find the one sister on the planet, the strong black woman that she is, Harvard educated, and cannot define what a woman is. Do you have any idea how far back this woman set black women in America? She gave ammunition, boxes of it, busloads of ammunition to the real white supremacists that would say, you see, I told you, people that look like her, they're not capable of learning. We let her into Harvard, and this fool can't define what a woman is. You gave ammunition to the people that would say, you see, we never should have given black folk the right to get an education. This fool went to Harvard and can't define what a woman is, even though every other black woman in America can tell you what a woman is. But you know, liberals, Democrats / progressives, they have figured it out, y'all. They have figured it out. And this is how you know they're setting you up for the okie doke. Liberals, the mainstream media, I'm sorry for being redundant, they have figured out if we put a black face out front, we can get whatever we want. If we just put a black face out front, black folk, that don't agree in any way, shape, or form with what these black folks are saying that we put out front, black folk, even though they disagree, they're not going to say anything because they don't want to be seen as not supporting the sister. White folks are not going to complain vociferously because they don't want to have the Kayal race card played on them. So they figured it out. Here's how you know they playing you, y'all. Remember when Barack Obama was running for president and the reporters asked him, Mr. Obama, how do you feel about gay marriage? Oh, I'm against that. Oh, I'm against that. When he was trying to get your vote, he was against it. Well, what happened once he got your vote? Well, I have evolved on the issue. We've been stuck with gay marriage ever since. Now, in case you haven't been paying attention, the LGBTQ plus LMNOP BVD BMW EV as an electric vehicle, different show for a different day. They know all of this stuff is going to end up in the courts. And we need somebody sympathetic to the cause on the court. See, they know this crap the NC2A is pulling, guys swimming against girls, they know it's going to end up in court. So we need somebody on the court that thinks like we do. And if we can put a black face on it, black people, they're not going to chastise her because black folks don't want to be seen as not supporting a sister. White folks, they're going to be scared to death to open their mouths because, hi-yow, they're going to slam the race card on you. You see how they play you? They will use black people like an old dirty rag. Wipe up their mess and throw it away. They know exactly what they're doing. This woman is Harvard educated and cannot define what a woman is. Now, Joe Biden is hoping you will forget that the very first black woman nominated to sit on the federal bench, Joe Biden used the most evil tool in the chest of democracy, the filibuster. Remember just this year they tried to get rid of the filibuster? Joe Biden used the filibuster to deny the first black woman nominated for the federal bench. He used the filibuster not once, but twice. So I guess to make it up to y'all black folk, y'all loyal Democrats, to make it up to you, I'm going to get a woman of color as the vice president. A woman, by the way, that not even 6% of her own freaking party wanted. So what does he do this time? Well, I'm going to do you black loyal Democrats another favor. I'm going to nominate the first black woman to sit on the Supreme Court. He finds an idiot, black, strong black, Harvard-educated woman that she is. He finds the one sister in all of America that can't freaking define what a woman is. What the hell is it about Joe Biden and black women? But he'll have you think, I'm a friend of the little man. I fight for the minorities. They're setting you up for the okie doke house all day long. If you can't see this, you the problem. They did it before with Barack Obama and gay marriage. Now they're going to stick a woman on the highest court in the land. Strong black woman. Her words, not mine. Harvard educated. And cannot define what a woman is. And you voted for him. Sucker. Fool. Maybe next time you listen when people tell you things. Of course, now, they already know. Half of y'all, black folk, you're going to be scared to say something because you don't want to be seen as, well, you're not supporting black people. White folk, they don't want to have the race card played on them, so they're going to be quiet too. And the next thing you know, LGBTQ, LMNOP, BMW, EV, lest we forget BVD, it's going to be the law of the land. Setting you up for the okie doke. Just saying. Just saying. Final break of today's show. When we come back, speaking of Joe Biden, why do they still let this man speak in public? Kind of makes you wonder, are they purposely trying to destroy this country? Or is there something else afoot here? We'll talk about that when we wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
back with the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I sound a little bit hesitant because I'm waiting on Marty to do his, I don't know what I would call it, his mathematical equation. He just calls it magic. It's magic to tell me how much time I have left in the show. Okay, now that I know, we move on. Magically. Why is it that Joe Biden's handlers continue to allow this man to speak in public? You know, under any other circumstances, what the Democrats and the White House are doing to and with Joe Biden would be considered a crime. That would be considered elder abuse. I don't know how many of you, God bless us, have found ourselves in a situation in life where we have a family member dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia, senility, whatever you want to apply, whatever label you want to apply. Many of us have been there. And as a result, we do certain things to protect them. We take the car keys and hide them or keep them in our possession so that they don't get in the car to go to the store right down the street and end up 3 states away. Why? Well, because we love them. That's why. Why? Because they're elderly, they're in a fragile state of mind, and because we love them. Why? Because it's the prudent thing to do. You're protecting others on the highway that may be driving 60, 70, 80 miles an hour around someone who's totally lost and may lose all touch with reality as far as the rules of the road are concerned. But in this instance, we're not just talking about a routine trip to the grocery store that goes horribly wrong. We're talking about the entire free world, y'all. We are talking about potentially World War III / Ukraine. We are talking about the suffering U.S. economy of our fellow Americans. And we're talking about a guy that will make a statement in an address to the whole world, will say something, and everybody goes, whoa, wait a minute, did he just say what I think he said? Play it back. Oh yeah, that's what he said. But when you ask him about, I didn't say that. Oh yeah, you did, bruh. You just said it. We got it right here. Well, it never happened like that. Over and 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 over ad nauseum. And yet, they still trot him out there and expose him, the United States of America, and the rest of the free world to his bumbling, stumbling, no grasp of reality at all mentality. And if that weren't bad enough, you know, God has blessed me to be around for a little bit of time. I'm hoping He will bless me to be around a considerable amount longer. But never once in my entire existence can I remember or ever fathomed the thought that we would be praying for a guy who obviously has some serious mental shortcomings, not just praying for him for the sake of those who love him, but because if he has to be removed because of what's now becoming painfully obvious mental deficiencies, the person in line right behind him has no issues with dementia, but is even worse than he is. Kind of takes us back to, well, what is it about Joe Biden and black women? I cannot begin to imagine, boomers, what our parents, those who have now passed on and moved on to glory, what they would think about what we've become in this country. We have arrived at a point where the leader of the free world, hour to hour, day to day, week to week, has no clue where he is. And we are deathly afraid to remove him because of what is in line behind him. Hey, but at least we don't have to put up with any mean tweets anymore. I guess that's why every time you tune in, at the very end you hear me say, you know what? This day, maybe so, and maybe more so than any in history, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we are far from perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize He loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Best news you're going to get all day. There ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.